And I said, why is it like this? He said it's because of the migraine headache. That evening, my wife has been complaining, and I'm afraid that she might go out. I said, no, she will not do that. And she has, the Alhaji has spent so much money in Lagos on this migraine headache, yet the thing will not go. Good day once again. In the last episode, I told you that I will inform you of how God prepared my promotion. But before then, let me still tell you about this Alhaji. For security reasons, I cannot mention his name. And that is why I need to tell you more about him. Now, this Alhaji had one ailment, and that is a migraine headache. I didn't know. Sometimes I will enter his office, tears will be coming out of it. I say, what is it? He said, because he's a very tall, huge man from Maiduguri area. And as a result of that, you will expect that this man can perform in the other room if there's anything like that. Until the day that he could no longer hold it, he said, Mr. Falabi, I know you prayed for me when I had an accident and I got well. And my legs, I'm back on my legs. But this one, you know, is my private. I said, hey, what is it? He just opened his trouser and showed me his manhood. A tall, big man that has children. The manhood was like the head of a pin. So small. And I said, why is it like this? He said it's because of the migraine headache. That evening, my wife has been complaining, and I'm afraid that she might go out. I said, no, she will not do that. And she has, the Alhaji has spent so much money in Lagos on this migraine headache, yet the thing will not go. In fact, because of who he was telling me that they said they sell some kind of herbs in Kaduna and that I should help him to buy in Kaduna. I said, well, I will help you buy herbs, but Alhaji, you know it, that Jesus is the greatest healer of all healers. So that your belief is what I want you to stand on. Well, as God will have it, I went into fasting, and I said he should also fast. 3 days we were fasting and we were working. After office hours, I will pray for him, and so on and so forth. After we did the 3 days fasting, about a week or so after, he ran into the office early in the morning. He said, Mr. Falabi, God has done it. Your Jesus has done it. I said, it's your Jesus also. I said, what has he done? He said, my manhood, I've recovered everything. He said, because it happened over the weekend, and the migraine headache, in fact, it brought me down. But all of a sudden, I just saw my manhood got up, and the whole migraine headache disappeared. In fact, he had to talk to my wife in Kaduna, say, help me thank Ogao. That kind of your prayers. Anyway, I'm also learning very, very well. So it is good that I mentioned that. And he's alive. Only I cannot mention his name. But we are still friends up to today. My good friends, I said I was going to tell you about how God promoted me. I will now proceed to tell you. 1995, I was supposed to be promoted. They didn't promote me, and they promoted other people. 1996, I ran into a professor who is a member or who was a member of a Full Gospel Businessman Fellowship. In fact, he had to drag me from my Garki chapter in this hotel, Agora Hotel, and took me to the first executive chapter in Transcorp Hilton, where he was first vice president. Our president then was the deputy director general of SEC. So he dragged me there, and says, all right. And that means I can be relating to him very well. So he took interest in me. And as at that time, I just qualified as a chartered accountant, and I had my HND in accounting. And I think, I've also gotten the Chartered Institute of Taxation certificate, which you have to do some exam after your ICANN is verified. So he took interest, and I didn't know that they were going to start a government development bank. They call it then Nigerian Education Bank. Nigerian Education Bank. And he was the MD. He said, can you leave your place of work and come and work with me? I said, okay, let me go and pray about it. After praying about it, he said there was going to be an interview. So I met some 3-4 gentlemen there, and I was the 5th person. In fact, I was the last person to be interviewed. That was like the month of March, 1996. At the interview, I prepared, but I don't know the type of interview. They just said we should be drinking coffee. And we started drinking coffee. I think I must have drank like 3 or 4 cups. I said, I'm okay. Let them continue with the interview. They said that was the interview. And I was embarrassed. However, I left. But in the month of May, I was asked to come to the office. Guess what? They gave me a letter. And when I read it, my hands were shaking. They said, the Honorable Minister of Education has approved that you are now the Assistant General Manager Operations of Nigerian Education Bank. Don't forget that I was a deputy manager in the bank where I'm coming from. So God made me to leave deputy manager. I jumped senior manager. I jumped principal manager, and I landed at the post of Assistant General Manager Operations. In fact, when I announced it to my wife and my family in Kaduna, I'm sure, I don't know what will have happened. They said they were dancing up and down the whole compound and shouting. I was hearing their shout, So I just look at this God, that this God is amazing. That if it has not happened, do not think he has forgotten you. In fact, the day I announced in my former bank that I'll be leaving you people, they said to where? I said I'm going to a new bank. And, they were surprised. But my friend, the Alhaji, he had to announce it to the managing director in Kaduna. That was where the headquarters was. And the managing director put a call across to me that, no, Afolabi, we know that we have offended you, and so we are already preparing to promote you, not even to manager, or to senior manager. Well, God gave me the boldness, and I told him straight away, I said, sir, I think it's a bit late now, because they did not even give me senior manager. I am an assistant general manager. So I said, sir, with due respect, I knew that when you got, when you left your former bank to come and be the MD here, you got a higher post and a higher pay. So in the same way, I think I need to move. You could not do anything to it. So the next day, I dropped my my letter of resignation with 1 month salary. I gave them the check. And that was how I left the Nigerian, New Africa Merchant Bank Limited. And I moved to Nigeria Education Bank. Thank you very much for now. I will tell you what happened again at Nigerian Education Bank. God bless you.
People, it pays to serve Jesus. See, Alhaji got a miracle he never expected. I myself, I never knew that migraine that is happening in your head can affect your privacy and your performance. But you see, the person who wired the body decided to surprise Alhaji. Love those your unbelieving friends. You may not know what God will use you to do in some way. One problem that God will use you to solve in somebody else's life, that will become a turning point. As I told you, they are still friends. I will not be surprised to see Alhaji in heaven one of these days. Now, the second one, Mr. Folabi. He told Barrister Musa, let's go and take 1-1 instead of going to collect debts due to the bank. It was in the process of 1-1, give his life to Christ. Now he's looking for promotion. Promotion. They invited him for an interview. Did they ask him any question about accounting? Or about taxation? Drank 3 cups of coffee. Got a job as Assistant General Manager. Do you know why it is special? When God wants to do something for you, the way to it will be extraordinary. So it will be like a joke. It will be like child's play, but something powerful is happening in your life. Now, these are the ways of Jesus. But do you know him? If you don't know him, you cannot experience miracles like that. How many of you were called for interview and you drank coffee and you got a job? But when Jesus is in the matrix of your life, the things that will happen are unexpected. They are unconventional, actually supernatural. Give your heart to Jesus. This is the reason for these videos. And you will see the finger of God in your life. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Send these videos to your friends. Encourage somebody. Send us your comments and God will bless you. Thank you very much.